Yo, welcome everyone. Bitcoin has gotten a rejection directly into our major support level, but today I need to show you the rising wedge pattern and how everything could change very soon. Now first, our horizontal range we talked about yesterday is right now clearly getting a break towards downside. We said just slightly below our range, Bitcoin does have its first very nice support level. If we are then going to see acceptance back in the range, we can be looking to simplify here another long or a buying position. But unfortunately, it does look like the level was broken, the range has right now still not been reclaimed, and that is why we need to stay patient with our long position and wait for lower targets. We already made this exact prediction yesterday, and I talked about it in the YouTube video and also on Twitter right here, where I said the only two important support levels. The first one unfortunately did not hold, we wait for lower, and yes, our second very important price target is right now being hit almost to the exact dollar accuracy at approximately 107.5 thousand US dollars. Now, to be honest, I also added something more to my long position of Bitcoin, so my average entry price is right now approximately 102.5 thousand US dollars, but nevertheless, I was also adding even more capital to the Ethereum long position and also to some other altcoins. And yes, to be honest, I am expecting higher targets the next week simply because our biggest liquidation cluster is above the highs and not below the lows. More about that slightly later. And also we are seeing some very nice bullish absorption. But before we talk about that, we need to talk about the rising wedge pattern. I actually also mentioned on Twitter already 2 days ago, where I actually said that yes, Bitcoin can potentially reject, but all-time high first. So I really need to update you regarding this specific elite wave count, because yes, it does look like the fourth elite wave is right now being already formed, and we can expect only one more push towards the upside towards another higher high. The all-time high, yes, it can happen. However, I need to tell you exactly what we are going to be paying attention to once Bitcoin does see another push towards the upside and finally form the last and fifth elite wave at approximately 111,000 US dollars. So what we are right now going to do, we are going to zoom in a little bit, let's just say on the 1 hour time frame, and connect our higher highs with a diagonal area of resistance. Also, we can connect our higher lows with a diagonal area of support, and it really does look like we could be forming some kind of a rising wedge pattern. Now, unfortunately, a rising wedge pattern is a bearish pattern with a higher probability of breaking towards the downside once it is actually finished. As of right now, as I said, the fifth elite wave is probably not finished yet, and that is why I still want to see another push towards the upside. So what exactly am I right now looking at? We finished our first impulse, we got a correction, another impulse, another correction, and of course, if we right now do see another push towards the upside, we can clearly be looking towards another higher high above 110.6 thousand US dollars. However, the fifth elite wave, if we are going to reject slightly early, might not form another all-time high. And here is something you really need to pay attention to once Bitcoin is going to be pushing higher for the fifth elite wave. If you're going to click on the RSI indicator or the relative strength index, and this indicator is going to be forming brand new lower highs right here, while Bitcoin is forming higher highs, at least in my opinion, it is going to be quite a significant bearish Bitcoin indication, and we can actually be expecting a break towards the downside out of the rising wedge pattern. So, once we start forming another higher high above the third elite wave, or I would simply say, once we are going to be grabbing the liquidity above the highs right here at approximately 110.7 thousand US dollars, start being slightly more careful with your long positions. Make sure you're paying yourself, make sure you're securing some profits, because we can be potentially finishing the rising wedge pattern, especially if there is going to be a bearish divergence on the RSI indicator. And that is also right now why I would really appreciate for you to smash up the like button, because 1,000 likes today are really possible, and also also thank you for subscribing to the channel. Let me right now share with you at what area is Bitcoin trading as of right now and why we can actually expect another push up for our fifth elite wave. So what we are going to do, we are simply going to apply on our chart the biggest volume cluster of the entire upper price section, where we are right now going to see Bitcoin hit the point of control or the biggest volume cluster almost to the exact dollar accuracy. But of course, this specific level was really not a random level. Once we are paying attention to the 4-hourly 50 exponential moving average, it really does look like that it was hit also with a very nice precision. And also, if you go on the 2-hourly time frame, we can even identify a 2-hourly order block exactly at this specific area. So it really does look like we are seeing a very small bounce towards the upside at a very important support level. The level I also pointed out yesterday on Twitter and also in the YouTube video, where of course we can right now be expecting a bigger bounce towards the upside. But here right now, please pay attention. It does look like right now we still haven't taken the liquidity below our recent low at approximately 107.2 thousand US dollars. Additionally, with this entire push down, we formed another low, which right now means we have two very important liquidity levels almost at the exact same area at 107.2 thousand US dollars. So I would say like that, if Bitcoin does right now see another push down towards our recent low right here and also takes the liquidity at 107.2 thousand US dollars, you need to pay attention to some kind of a reaction, because we are also going to hit the major golden Fibonacci ratio. So I would say like that, if you're right now not already holding any long positions on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, on whatever cryptocurrency you're right now trading, you can right now already look to enter a long position, literally at the area where we are trading as right now, with the stop loss slightly below the area of support, because we are going to know if this specific support level is going to be broken towards downside, significant bearish Bitcoin indication, we are looking for another bigger move towards the downside, and only in that case our rising wedge pattern could potentially be invalidated. But as of right now, we need to be aware Bitcoin is still forming a significant bullish absorption on the 30-minute time frame, which right now means selling pressure is coming in the market. That is why we are seeing lower lows being formed on the CVD indicator, while Bitcoin is seeing another higher low. So this right here is already going to be another bullish Bitcoin indication. So I would say like that, if you're right now not already in any long positions, right now enter with some size, but then if we are going to go lower, you can simply look to add something to your position at approximately 107.2 thousand US dollars, simply because bullish absorption is right now taking place on the 30-minute time frame, bullish Bitcoin indication. And additionally, as I said before, Bitcoin has already hit a very important level, which is going to be the point of control of this entire upper price action at approximately 107.5 thousand US dollars. So I would say like that, a push towards the upside already in the next couple of days, or first of all another push down, and then of course Bitcoin continues higher towards another higher high above 110.5 thousand US dollars. That is why if you want to trade with us, take an advantage of the free 8,000 US dollar bonus without KYC and without VPN on BitUnix exchange, because they are right now giving you only after you register 10 USDT completely for free. But unfortunately, this bonus is right now still limited to the first 300 users. And also after you deposit, you're going to get an additional 20% deposit bonus. Now you can actually track all of your trades, all of your deposits in the campaign center, because as right now, yes, this is actually quite an exclusive campaign, and you can actually see all of your deposits. And also, of course, if you're going to be trading, you're going to be getting even bigger rewards. And also, if you're a whale, even bigger bonuses are offered to you with the second link down below in the description. No KYC, no VPN, and only after you register, you're already going to get a reward. But nevertheless, let me right now share with you another reason why I am being bullish on Bitcoin, why I would like to see higher, literally sooner rather than later. Pay attention right now to the Bitcoin liquidation heat map on the 1-week time frame. Where can you see the biggest liquidations? They are clearly not going to be below the recent lows. Yes, below the recent lows, we have approximately 91.9 million of long positions getting wrecked, which simply means, yes, we can still see another push down before continuing higher, but nevertheless, I would still like to see the biggest liquidation cluster at approximately 110.6 thousand US dollars to be hit in the next couple of days, where we are going to liquidate approximately 116 million of short positions from the entire crypto market. Additionally, we are right now seeing some bullish indications on some other indicators, and this indicator is going to be the moving average convergence divergence on the 2-hour time frame. We can right now see lower lows are being formed on the MACD, while Bitcoin is still as of right now forming higher lows. So it's going to be a hidden bullish divergence. So you can right here see how we are creating right now a high probability trading setup. We are paying attention to the MACD, which is right now looking bullish. We are paying attention to the bullish absorption, which is right now bullish. We are paying attention to the liquidation cluster, which is also right now bullish. And additionally, we know we are probably forming some kind of a rising wedge pattern in quite a significant uptrend. Pay attention right now to the exponential moving averages on the 1-hour time frame. Clearly, we are moving in an uptrend. 2-hour time frame, we are moving in an uptrend. 4-hour time frame also, Bitcoin is moving in an uptrend. So shorting Bitcoin at this specific area, in my opinion, is really not a good idea. And also, something I posted about yesterday on Twitter, where I actually said, why bearish if you can be bullish? We are in an uptrend. Why would we even guess when the trend is going to end? For sure, we can dump towards downside, maybe even below 100,000 US dollars. However, we need to ask ourselves, is this a probable scenario? And also that is why we still need to have proper risk management in a case something like that is going to happen. But the thing is, in terms of probabilities, in terms of the trend, in terms of all of those indications I have been showing to you, in my opinion, we have a higher probability Bitcoin discontinue higher already right now, or maybe if we are first of all going to take some liquidity below the recent lows and only then do see another push towards the upside on the Bitcoin chart itself. So that is why I am telling to you, looking for a long or a buying position at this specific area is going to give you a very good risk to reward ratio, simply because you're taking a very high probable setup with proper risk management. In a case it fails, yes, we are going to be stopped out, but nevertheless, we are trading with the probabilities, we are trading with the trend. That is why, in my opinion, I would really like to see another push towards the upside to happen on Bitcoin sooner rather than later. That is also right now why take advantage of the free 8,000 US dollar bonus, no KYC, no VPN, with the second link down below, because only after you register you're already going to get 10 USDT, and also then deposit, because you're going to get a 20% deposit bonus. But also right now, thank you for smashing up the like button.